Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. A morning show here on ACAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone and talk about good things, balancing out all the bad news out there with some good news, good people, and good co-hosts. As you can see in the studio, it is Wednesday today, and you know her as Dr. Tiffanie Tate. The other half of that is in the house. She's a veteran. She's a OBGYN, that's what her MD is. She's a playwright. She's an author of many children's books and a fabulous peach cobbler. She's my favorite peach cobbler cook. And she's here back in the studio today for Doctors in the House. So please welcome her back.
And happy Wednesday, y'all. It is a pleasure to be here again with my favorite co-host, Dr. Marissa Pay.
I'll take it. So let's start with breakfast. Going to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which means top of the bun, things we're grateful for outside of ourselves, and bottom of the bun, things that we're grateful for inside of ourselves. Dr. Tiffanie Tate, why don't you take it away?
Well, I am grateful because I just celebrated my 25-year anniversary from medical school at Meharry Medical College. I flew to Nashville, Tennessee. I got to reminisce with my fellow alumni from the School of Medicine as well as the School of Dentistry, and we had a good time.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. Where were you again?
I was at Nashville, Tennessee. I also had a chance to spend time with my fellow Vanderbilt people because I did my residency at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
Nice. Did you go karaoke?
I did not have a chance to do karaoke, but I did have a chance to do a little dancing.
Well, that's great. Did you figure out what that... Maybe somebody in the cashew gallery knows. Welcome to all of you who are here. I can see. There's my mom, T. Welcome to the studio. You're the captain of the cashew gallery today. So, what are you grateful for, Mom T? I'm grateful for, let's see, all the things in my cupboards and drawers and walls. I have so many things and material things that make me smile, and for that I'm very grateful. Even like pretty boxes. I'm not as bad as my mom was, who used to like reuse wrapping paper, and we would never be allowed to like rip it off. We had to cut it with, along the scotch tape line. So, but I do keep boxes, so I guess there's a little left over there.
Well, recycling at its best.
What are you grateful for?
I am grateful that my son Nathaniel is home for summer break.
Wow, already? It was like yesterday when he left.
Yes, and he had to fly out of New Jersey. So that was a special experience because he could not fly out of Newark. So I had to cancel his flight and scramble. And because, I don't know if you follow the news,
No, I don't.
there's a special experience going on at the Newark airport, and so we had to make arrangements, and he had to fly out of New York instead
What's
because
happening?
they're having a lot of issues at the Newark airport, and you have to make alternative arrangements. I'll put it that way.
You
Yeah.
can't say it? Is
Well, yes, because of all of the issues at the airport with them being short staffed. Yeah. We'll put it that
okay.
way.
We don't talk about the headlines. So,
We don't talk about things like that.
all right. Mom, T's grateful having Dr. Tate living around the corner from me. She makes me feel so safe. Love her so much. Oh, there's some love.
I love
That's
you
so
too.
nice. I feel the. Can you feel the love tonight? All right. I am grateful for my kids are coming for the Memorial Day weekend, so that'll be a lot of fun. And I had a great photo shoot. I've got my third or fourth magazine cover coming out, so
Mm.
that was very, very fun. Yeah. One more gratitude.
And I am grateful just for all of the love and support that I feel from my friends and family when I need them because all I have to do is call on them and they are there for me. And you don't necessarily know who is in your corner until you say that you need them. And time is important, and not everyone is willing to give you their time.
Absolutely. You can't hear me at all?
Oh, I hear you.
Oh, I see in the private chat that it says you can't
That
hear
was
me.
from earlier. That was from
Oh,
earlier. Yes.
heart attack city. All right. Mom T, do you hear an echo on my end? Hopefully the answer is no or faint. Somehow the interface between my studio and Dr. Tiffany's is asking for, I must have prayed for patience. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun. Weightlifting for a little. Okay, as long as it's just a little,
It's very faint. So.
I'm the one that has to deal with listening to me in stereo.
Not like
Ciao.
before, so much better, much better.
Okay, good. So the bottom of the bun is what do you like about yourself so that you can approve of yourself, love yourself, care about yourself, so you're not looking for love in all the wrong places or likes on social media, literally. Instead, you can focus on how you feel about yourself, knowing that everybody does the best they can, and you do the best that you can with the time that you have and the resources you have. So that's why we do this, bottom of the bun. I actually want you to do this before you go to bed, not necessarily right after gratitude in the morning, but we're going to model it to you because I ain't going to be by your bedside tonight. So, Dr. Tiffany, what do you like about yourself?
I like the fact that I am patient. A lot of times, everyone does not have patience. See? Things can happen that challenge us. And a lot of times we have to learn to just go with the flow. And when life hands you lemons, you can make lemonade, you can make a lemon pie, you can make a lemon custard. But you just have to not get frazzled. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, woosah, find your inner peace, gather yourself, roll with the punches, and persevere. And I think it's important for us to just have patience. And I like the fact that I do have patience.
Well,
Well,
I know
I
you're
know
going
you're
to
going to
tell me
tell
that
me
the
that the
reason why
reason
all
why
this
all
is
this is
happening is
happening is
because I'm
because I'm
belligerent
belligerent
about not
about not
having the
having
P
the P
word in
word
my
in my
vocabulary.
vocabulary.
But
But
Dr.
Dr.
Tiffany,
Tiffany,
talk to the
talk to
hand.
the hand.
Not
Not
la la
la
la
la
la
la
la.
la la.
Not
Not
listening.
listening.
So
So
Mom T's
Mom
like,
T's
"Are
like, "Are
you
you
okay?"
okay?"
I will
I
be
will be
okay when
okay
we
when we
figure
figure
this
this
out.
out.
But the
But the
best thing
best
about
thing about
technology
technology
is
is
when it
when it
works.
works.
And the
And the
worst thing
worst
about
thing about
technology
technology
is when
is
it
when it
doesn't work.
doesn't work.
It's
It's
88%
88%
fabulous
fabulous
today.
today.
So that's
So
what I'm
that's
going
what
to
I'm going to
focus on.
focus on.
And that
And
is
that
what
is
I
what
like
I
about
like about
myself,
myself,
that
that
I
I
wake up
wake up
every
every
morning and
morning
put
and
on
put
my
on my
life
life
jacket
jacket
with a
with a
silver
silver
lining.
lining.
And
And
it
it
doesn't take
doesn't
me
take me
long to
long
get
to get
over
over
it,
it,
which is a
which is
good
a
thing.
good thing.
So we
So
can
we
just
can just
start the
start
day
the day
over
over
and
and
yeah, just
just
move it
move
on.
it on.
I
I
should
should
like the
like the
sound of
sound
my
of my
voice
voice
in
in
stereo
stereo
anyways, but
anyways, but
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
I
I
appreciate my
appreciate my
ability
ability
to
to
be a
be a
Dodger
Dodger
fan.
fan.
I'm going
I'm
to my
going to my
Dodger
Dodger
game
game
tonight to
tonight
get
to get
it's
it's
honestly, I don't
honestly,
know
I don't
what
know
I
what
like
I like
more,
more,
Dodgers or
Dodgers
the
or the
bobblehead.
bobblehead.
So I
So
get
I
my
get my
last
last
bobblehead
bobblehead
of my
of my
boy
boy
Will
Will
Smith,
Smith,
who is
who is
so
so
cute.
cute.
Unfortunately, I
Unfortunately,
just
I
found
just
out
found
he's
out he's
married,
married,
but oh
but oh
well.
well.
But
But
I'll
I'll
still get
still
to
get to
play with
play
his
with his
bobblehead.
bobblehead.
Ooh, that
Ooh, that
doesn't
doesn't
sound good.
sound good.
Never
Never
mind.
mind.
That's it
That's it
for the
for the
bottom of the
bottom of the
button. For
button. For
me,
me,
Dr.
Dr.
Tiffany, what do
Tiffany,
you
what do
like
you
about
like about
yourself?
yourself?
And I like the fact that I really do enjoy spending time with my family. A lot of times people are reluctant to spend time with their family, and it's like a love-hate relationship, but I really do enjoy it. And having both Nathaniel and Mia home with me, my young adults, it is so rewarding. And when he came home from the airport, Nathaniel and Mia gave me roses. And
Oh,
I just felt the love because they were like, well, we're both here with you and we want to give you an extra Mother's Day. And I just felt so much love. And I'm like, I just have the best young adults in the whole wide world. And it was just because they love me. And I just felt the love and I just felt rejuvenated and invigorated. And it was just beautiful.
that's
That's
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
All right,
All right,
that's it
that's it
for
for
breakfast
breakfast
with
with
Doctors in the
Doctors in the
House
House
this
this
morning with
morning with
myself
myself
and
and
Dr. Tiffany Tate.
I would
I would
encourage you
encourage you
to
to
practice this
practice
good
this
life
good life
habit,
habit,
this
this
hashtag
hashtag
discipline
discipline
for the
for the
next
next
28,
28,
31. I
31.
don't know
I don't
what
know
the
what the
statistic is
statistic
now
is
to
now
make a
to
good
make a good
habit, but
habit, but
just
just
keep doing
keep
it.
doing it.
You can do
You
it
can
with
do it
me
with me
every
every
weekday
weekday
morning
morning
at
at
9
9
a.m. right
a.m.
after
right
the
after the
BBC
BBC
News.
News.
This
This
is
is
my
my
13th
13th
year,
year,
681
681
consecutive
consecutive
weeks,
weeks,
and
and
1,395
1,395
podcast shows.
podcast
But
shows.
who's
But who's
counting?
counting?
But when
But
you
when
do
you do
join me
join me
every
every
morning, you will
morning, you will
start your
start your
day
day
in the
in the
most
most
positive
positive
way.
way.
Thanks for
Thanks for
joining us
joining
for
us for
breakfast.
breakfast.
And
And
now
now,
for the
for the
topic of the
topic of the
day.
day,
This
it
says
says
everything is
everything is
awesome.
awesome.
And then
And
we'll
then
add
we'll
this
add this
because
because
Dr.
Dr.
Tiffany
Tiffany
loves this
loves this
part.
part.
She'd
She'd
prefer it we
prefer it
do
we do
this,
this,
but
but
Hey you!
Hey, you.
Hey! Hey you! Hey you!
Yeah, that's me.
what
what
is
is
your
your
topic for
topic for
today?
today?
Well, in the past, we have talked about time. And in the past, we have talked about money. But we have yet to talk about time and money together. And they really do go hand in hand. So today we are talking about time and money because really they are both finite resources. And I thought it was an important subject because right now it's something that in society, in relationships, and in families, I don't think we necessarily value them enough. And people are passing away. Recently, Norm from Cheers passed away, and previously, Christy Alley from Cheers passed away. And we've had family members pass away. And I think that it's important to really address it. And like I mentioned earlier, I went to my 25-year medical school reunion. That was my silver anniversary. So I thought it was important to talk about this, and we were raising money for scholarships. And so these are both important resources, but I don't think we really look at them and assess them adequately.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good
Sounds
to
good to
me.
me.
I
I
wrote in
wrote
the
in the
promo,
promo.
what did
What
I
did
write?
I write?
Something.
Something.
They say
They say
time is
time is
money.
money,
And
and
I
I
say
say
there's
there's
big
big
difference,
difference,
and
and
the
the
difference
difference
is
is
money
money
is
is
replaceable.
replaceable.
Money, you
Money,
can
you
lose
can
it
lose
and
it
you
and
can
you can
gain it
gain it
again.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Time
Time
is a
is a
non-renewable
non-renewable
energy.
energy.
Once you
Once you
use it,
use it,
it's gone.
gone.
And
And
that's why
that's why
every
every
single
single
day
day
I
I
juice my
juice my
life
life
so
so
that
that
I
I
know I'm
know I'm
getting the
getting the
most out
most
of
out of
every day
every day
because I
because I
know
know
it ain't
it
coming
ain't coming
again.
again.
Unless you're
Unless you're
Shirley
Shirley
MacLaine,
MacLaine,
but
but
even
even
then,
then,
it's a
it's a
different
different
life.
life.
So
So
that's
that's
why
why it is
I'm
I'm
adamant
adamant
about
about
using my
using my
time
time
to its
to its
fullest. I
fullest.
try
I
to do
try to do
wisely,
wisely,
but it
but it
doesn't
doesn't
always
always
happen that
happen that
way.
way.
But
But
definitely
definitely
living my
living my
life
life
as
as
if
if
every
every
minute
minute
is
is
the
the
last
last
one, which
one,
it
which it
is,
is,
because for
because
that
for that
minute,
minute,
once it's
once it's
gone, it's
gone, it's
gone.
gone.
So
So
that's
that's
my
my
word
word
association with
association with
time and
time and
money.
money.
Yeah. And do you know where the term time is money comes from?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. It came from Benjamin
Wait, wait,
Franklin.
wait, wait. Dr.
Dr.
Tiffany,
Tiffany,
where
where
did
did
that
that
saying
saying
come
come
from?
from?
Absolutely, I will tell you. It actually came from Benjamin Franklin. He actually wrote it as an advice to a young man essay. It was advice to a young tradesman, an essay by Benjamin Franklin, and it appeared in George Fisher's 1748 book. And so that's where it came from. And a lot of times people think time and money are both interchangeable, but they're really not. Like you said, time and money are both finite resources, but you cannot replace time, but you can replace money. And I think that if you use your time wisely, you can use it to make money, but you can also use it to build relationships, and you can use it to enrich and invigorate your life. And I think that depending on how you utilize your time, that will be what you dedicate your life to. And I think that if we look at how we prioritize our time, it will tell you a lot about your life.
One of
One
the
of the
things
things
that
that
our
our
society, I
society, I
think,
think,
especially the
especially the
women's these
women's these
days,
days,
that
that
are
are
challenging the
challenging the
whole
whole
idea that
idea that
money
money
and
and
collecting
collecting
material
material
wealth
wealth
is the
is the
most
most
important thing.
important thing.
And I know it frustrates a lot of the managers and directors and leaders that I work with in the organization because they're like, why do they not care if the goal is met? Why do they care about their job? They want to take off for a month. I can't do that. They want to spend the money as quickly as it's coming in. What's wrong with them? And one of the things that I say is they watched us older generation slave away for that almighty dollar to collect things to die, not fulfilled because they didn't have really good relationships. As you said, I mean, Steve Jobs, like, so many people on their, the last twilight segment of their life say, I wish I had. Nobody says, I wish I had stayed at the office longer or collected more money. So I think in that sense, the young people have something positive or a value in the way that they're treating time and money. Now, that pendulum is maybe swinging a little too far, but if you want to come into balance, you can't just go to the middle. You have to overswing to get it to come back to the middle. So
Oh, absolutely. And I think that a lot of times, depending on where we spend our money, that also tells you your priorities. Because where you spend your time and where you spend your money will tell you where your heart is. And a lot of times, we don't want to face that reality. We will say one thing and we will do another.
it's funny how that is.
We know we don't necessarily want to accept that reality, and so when it comes to time, it is a limited resource. There are a certain number of days in the week, and we have a certain number of days in our lifetime, and it's hard to accept that reality. But we don't know how many days we have, but we can make as much money as we want, and we can utilize those dollars however we want. But we have to prioritize our days and we have to prioritize our dollars.
Absolutely. So, what other research have you done on time and money?
So, um, there's a lot of different things that I looked up. And when you look at the time cost relationship, there's different things you can apply it to. When it comes to work-life balance, like you said, I've always been taught that on your deathbed, nobody ever said, I wish I worked more. So you want to look at quality of life. You want to look at efficiency. You want to look at the opportunity cost when you spend time on something. You're implicitly valuing it over other activities that you could have done with that time. And so you also want to look at the efficiency of your time. The concept suggests that saving time can lead to increased productivity and the potentially to earn more money. So, how can I utilize my time to do something as quickly and efficiently as possible? So, you don't want to spend 3 hours doing something when you can do it in 1 hour. So we always want to think about doing something quickly and more efficiently. And what is more valuable? Spending time with your children, spending time with your friends, going shopping. So I love doing all those things. Can you bundle those things? Can you take your friends and your children and all go shopping together? So you can try to see what makes you happy. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you can compartmentalize, and it's about trying to figure out how I can best make my life work for me and what's going to satisfy me with time management and money management.
For me, it's all about balance, right? If
Mhm.
you spend too much time with your friends and family and don't make any money, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. If you spend all your time making money and don't put in the time that it takes to cultivate a relationship, you're going to, and I'll tell on myself, this is, I chose to focus on my career after the divorce, do everything once, marriage, divorced. It wasn't interested in having a relationship for 7 years, 6 months, 5 weeks, 4 days, but who's counting? And as a result of that, when I did decide to start dating or reach out and, want to go to movies with friends, they're like, I don't have time because I have established relationships in my life, and you were never available when I asked you to do something with me. So there's a consequence of not being in balance. And I live that. I still live that because I have a love-hate relationship with other people. I have a love relationship with myself, which I've cultivated, and self-care, self-love, which I think is still the most important thing for good mental health. But as a result, I have a better time sometimes by myself. And I'll literally go to a movie and dinner by myself, where I can go to the restaurant I want, watch the movie I want, or go with someone who may not like what the restaurant I want to go to, might suggest another one that I don't want to go to, and then go to the movie and they don't like it or I like it. And sometimes it's just like, I'd rather just go out with myself,
Mhm.
which feeds into, again, the cost of not having the time to cultivate those relationships.
Yeah, because if you do sacrifice your relationship with your significant other by not spending time with them, you are, in essence, sacrificing your relationship with your significant other by not spending time with them. You can't say that you love someone and not spend time with them because you can't cultivate that. You
Well,
can't
that's
cultivate.
why I have
Yeah.
insignificant others instead of significant others.
Absolutely, absolutely. That will happen.
We're going to have to take a quick break. I missed the mid-quarter station ID, but we'll just go ahead and do the main station break ID right now, knowing that you're listening to KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. So we'll be right back. News, weather, traffic, and a word from our sponsor. So don't go away. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. Peace it. Peace out. Don't go away.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Hi, Doctors in the House listeners. This is your favorite Wednesday co-host, Dr. Tiffanie Tate, with a big announcement. I have decided to step forward and run for Congress in California's 41st Congressional District. I wanted to share the big news here first with all of you, our loyal listeners. I've decided to run for this seat because as a veteran officer of the United States Navy and retired OBGYN, I see so many freedoms that we as Americans hold dear under attack. And the country gave me so many opportunities, I can no longer remain idle and watch everything going on in the world today. Every day I look around, I feel a call to action. My goal is to be of service to my constituents and my country. I took an oath when I became a U.S. Naval officer, and I took an oath when I became a physician of the U.S. When I became a physician. And so I want to be of service to all mankind. Families are struggling and education is under attack from pre-K to graduate school. America is going backwards. And as a retired OBGYN, I support women's health. And as a proud mom, I want every child to have an opportunity for success. I intend to go to Congress and fight for you. Please support me. And it doesn't matter if I am red or blue, I am going to fight for you. But I am running as a Democrat. But I plan to support all the constituents in the 41st District. So please go to my website at www.drtateforcongress.com. That is www.drtateforcongress.com. Again, that's www.drtateforcongress.com. Thank you, and I look forward to your support in the coming months. This is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I approve this message, paid for by Dr. Tate for Congress.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel. Please hit that subscribe. Give me the finger, not that one, but this one. And know that you can tune in live every weekday morning on the morning show. I am your host, producer, and today is a special series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
And we are here to balance out all the bad news. You will not hear headlines. Even when I ask Dr. Tiffany for the headlines, she will not give it to me, because we want you to focus on what is good, what is positive, and what is solution on this show, instead of if it bleeds, it leads, or if it shocks. That's what is in the news, according to the producer's choice. But this producer has chosen a great co-host who helps me with my Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And today's topic is
Time and money.
and we've been talking about the importance of both, the balance of both, where the saying time or use your time wisely came from, or time, was it time is money, or the wisely that came from the wise guy?
Yes, because time is not money. Time is just a tool. And I think it's important that we realize that it's a tool, it's a currency. Money is a tool, and it's success is about earning more, and using your time wisely is something important, and it's about cultivating relationships. Money is something that we should use wisely, and we should invest our money and use it on things that are important to us. And we should watch where we spend it. And I remember we talked about it, and we can circle back to that 50-30-20 rule. And I don't know if you remember that, saying that we should spend 50% on our needs, 30% on our wants, and 20% on our savings. And so, do
I
you
didn't
remember
know
that?
that.
Oh, okay. So that was what we that's what I looked up, and so that's what they suggest in theory. That's just like a budgeting method. So allocating your after-tax income should be about 50% on your needs. That includes your essential expenses like housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, healthcare needs like your medicines, your co-pays, different things like that. So any of your essentials, that's what that 50% should go for you, your family, your kids, your insignificant or significant others, if you want to put it that way. And then that 30% should go towards your wants. This is your discretionary spending on things you enjoy, such as dining out, which I enjoy doing sometimes, but I also love to cook, and entertainment, going to movies, concerts, and hobbies, travel, which I love doing as well. So those are what your 30%, these are your wants. And then that 20% should go towards your savings and your debt. Now, some people will say pay yourself first. You save first. So it's really up to you. I can't mandate what you do or don't do, but this portion should be set aside for your savings account, retirement, contribution, and paying off debts. So if you follow that 50-30-20 rule, you should be okay.
So what was the 50 again?
50% was your needs, your household goods, your groceries, transportation, and healthcare.
I'm writing it down in the chat. So 50% needs, 30%.
Your wants.
Okay. That new outfit, those new shoes. And then 20%.
Earrings, and then 20% savings and debts.
That's kind of interesting. It's the opposite.
Yeah. Well, usually your debt is going. It's good to carry some debt because it helps build up your credit history as long as you're paying it on time. And if you want to double up your payments, I think that's good as well because you still want to build your credit history, but you don't want to fall behind on your debts. It's important to continue to pay your debts. You don't want to not pay your debts.
And where did this statistic come from?
This statistic came from, let's see.
Because I'm always about finding the balanced news source.
So there is a different, the dowjones.com.
Okay. Dow Jones.
Dowjanes.com. You can get it from the dowjanes.com, empower.com. So there are a few different people who recommended this rule.
Okay.
And the nerdwallet.com, lots of people recommended it. So
yeah, that one I use. The Nerd Wallet. When I'm looking for bonus offers for banks and the interest and things like that. Yeah, it's interesting the whole like the shift between no debt and some people actually coaching me to have debt. And I remember saying, what? Why would I want to carry debt? But unfortunately, your credit score is developed by that ratio. So I was told to that let's see if I can get this right. The perfect ratio is like 30%. So you use 30% of your 100%. Like let's say if you have a $10,000 limit. So if you carry $3,000 in debt, that will be better than having a zero debt.
Yes.
It's kind of weird. I don't know who. Although some people now, what is that statistic about? People are carrying way more debt than they can afford or afford to pay off. And I remember when they had that law that passed that all credit card statements had to tell you that if you keep paying the minimum, it's going to take you how many years to pay it off, which is kind of like those warnings on drugs, where after they get through all the side effects, you're like, why would I take that in the first place? So why would I carry that debt in the first place? So I don't necessarily go to conspiracy theory where it's like, oh, that 1% is trying to control us through whatever. I just think that, this is the way the rules are, and you can either follow them right now and manage your own money so that you're having the best possible credit, in case you want to get a house. So.
Well, right now, a lot of times people are living off of their credit cards because they're struggling and they don't necessarily have a choice because they are living paycheck to paycheck because they are struggling and they can only pay the minimum. And it's a challenge. So they're forced to do that. And according to Experian, only about 1.54% of the scoreable U.S. population has an 850 FICO score, which is the perfect credit score. So we're talking about an infinitesimally small percent of the population who have a perfect credit score. And where do we go from here when people are struggling? All we can do is try to encourage them and hopefully get them to a better place. And so when we look at money management and we look at how we as a society can support them, that's a whole different conversation. But right now we're looking at, okay, let's try to look at our time and money and how they can be intertwined and say, okay, we can work, we can balance our time, and we can balance our money. And we can use these two together and understand that time is finite. And even for some, money is a finite resource as well. But you can earn more money, but you will never earn more time. And we can watch how we spend our time, and we can look at how we spend our money, because where we spend our heart, where our heart is, that's where our money is and where our time is.
I'm muting my mic a little because we have nice background gratitude for Trash Day.
Oh, wonderful. Thank God.
I don't know if you can hear it, but anyways.
Problems. Yeah.
I had a really good point I was going to say as I was muted, and now when I can talk, it's gone. Oh, yes. I thought it would be interesting, especially for the eyeballs that are here. Welcome again. If you are driving, please do not answer this question in the chat. But if you are able to contribute, and I know we have Z and we have Mom T who have already checked in, I would like to know, and I will tell on myself, those ways in which I know are money wasters and or time wasters. Because I think that it's important that if we want to change this, you got to be aware of it. You have to put the moose on the table. which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. And that's the only way change is going to come. But I will preface that by saying 88% of the time, I make good use of my money. 88% of the time, I make good use of my time. 12% of the time, I just cut myself some slack. One day a month, I try to do nothing productive just so I can cut myself some slack and not get caught up in that rat race. I hate that expression. Who wants to be a rat in the first place? But anyways, so 88% of the time, in order to use money wisely, here are some of the things that I know that I challenge myself. So how often do I really need to go to Starbucks? Sorry, Starbucks, they're not a sponsor. But I mean, if you think about the cost, I remember when my kids were teen-ish, take them to school, we'd all stop and have a Starbucks. And it was like literally $30,000. Oh, no. I mean, it was a lot. So if you think about it, let's see if I got this right. We spent $15 on drinks, 15 to 20. Let's say $20 5 days a week, sometimes 6, right? Times 52. How much is that?
You said how many days a week?
20 times 6 times 52. $6,240.
Yeah.
So close to
pretty penny.
That sounds low to me. I remember whatever it was, I went, I think it was like $12,000 to $15,000. So that is to me a way that I could have used money better. You don't have to do that all the time.
Absolutely. And when you use that 50-30-20 rule, it simplifies your budget because it provides a straightforward framework and you're allocating your income. It encourages you to save money and you put everything in its appropriate box. It helps you manage your debt because you've already said, okay, I'm going to put these dollars in this appropriate area. And it gives you the flexibility to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Because you say, okay, I know I'm going to travel. I have these dollars already put aside here. I know I want to go to this concert. I already have this money put aside here. I already have money saved for a rainy day. So if an emergency comes up, I have an emergency savings. And it reduces financial stress because the money is already in those appropriate categories. You have money for your light bill, your electricity bill, for your mortgage, your water bill. Everything is already set aside.
Yeah. I think too, though, I need to bring up the whole worry, anxiety, and fear around running out of money. A lot of people live in this petrified, I'm gonna lose all my money, or I'm gonna end up homeless, and these fears that are from MSU University make me should talk you up. You've never had anywhere close to a situation like that. You do work, you know how to work. You will always have some kind of skill if you have arms and legs and a brain to make money. It may not be the way that you want to make money, which I hear a lot from people. I don't want to do that. And it's like, well, there's no market there for that. You can either choose to refuse to do that and not make any money, or change your attitude about what you will and will not do. That's the balance there. And maybe if you can be okay and not go to MSU University and live in that constant fear that you're going to lose all your money, which you've never done, or if it has done, everybody else lost a lot through COVID, then I choose every day to say, all my needs are met. There's more than enough to go around. I've never had not a roof over my head, food in my fridge, and money in my wallet. And that's where I need to focus so that I'm not living in the worry battle in my head around finances. I also carry $100 bill in my wallet all the time as a reminder that I could spend it on something, but I choose not to spend it around that. So I don't say I can't afford it. That's that lack of limitation. I can afford it. I choose not to purchase. I think that's a very self-mastery, personal mastery, self-motivating, self-caring attitude or approach to money.
Yes, I completely agree, and I think that yeah.
Wait, you have to see this. Mom T, I'm going to take your advice because you're not using it. That's the name of my show. And cut down on eating fast food 4 times a week to see how much I can save.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Now, Dr. Tiffany, give her the credit of
You know what?
even saying that. Hello, don't shoot her.
Wait, you know what?
Try.
We listen and we don't judge.
And you just did.
I did. So I'm going to convict myself. I'm going to stop. I'm going to rewind. Let me start that over. I'm sorry. Mom T, I believe you. We listen and we don't judge, right, Dr. Marissa?
That's right.
We listen and we don't judge, Mom T.
I'm going to do this for you. For Mom T.
And for those who don't know, she is like a fast food queen.
Yes, we know that.
No, I'm saying
that's why I was shocked when I saw that.
Yes, for the
I'm
new
so
listeners.
So what I would do with the money that you save on that fast food, actually put it in a jar. I used to do that when I quit smoking. Every pack I didn't buy, and it was a lot of money. Same thing. That's not nice, but it's true. She knows me well because I live it. Yeah. I know that about you, Mom T. So, but I'm so proud of you that this is something that you want to try to do. Yeah. And even like Dr. Tiffany's going to kill me, but like start with one, then go to two, go to three. Don't set a goal that you may not meet. But the fact that you want to do that and you're going to get healthier as a result of that. Yeah. So it is definitely, my balance of not living in that fear. Also, don't live in the excess, right? I want this now, right? So I'm going to get it without thinking about the consequence of getting that. That's also the balance. Why it's all about. So you don't want to go either extreme.
Mm-hmm. And so I would say it's important to think about what you're doing, and especially if you're not doing something that's beneficial for you. And I would say time is not money. Time is time. And time is a finite resource that we need to use effectively, efficiently, and passionately to something that fulfills our hearts, our minds, and our souls. And we need to watch what we dedicate it to and to whom we dedicate it to. And wherever you're spending your time, that's where your heart is. And wherever you're spending your money, that's what's important to you. And you need to watch who you're spending your money on, where you're spending your money at, and you should spend your money wisely. And I hope that you can contribute your money in places that you find are important to you and to things that are important to you. And I think that as we prioritize our funds, we can do that in a way that is meaningful to us.
Yeah. Thank you, Z, for your comment here. The awareness about going out and dining. I just talked to someone about, instead of going to a restaurant, maybe grabbing some fruit or a sandwich, which is a lot cheaper than going to I'm talking to myself, some of my favorite Michelin restaurants, and going to watch the sunset while you're just eating with your friends in that car. And my final word is on saving time. Everyone talks on the phone to someone who asks the same advice all the time, and you spend 15, 45 minutes giving them the best advice for the 18th time that they don't follow. That is 45 minutes a day that you can save to learn a new language on YouTube. There's so much to learn. That's free. Take the master class, take the college class, whatever it is. One less episode of binging. That's an hour. There's some more time too. So those, I'm telling on myself, those are the things that we can use to save time. Final word, Dr. Tiffany.
I think that I am here for you, and I think that you should spend your time wisely and prioritize relationships, prioritize family, and be there for one another, and use your money where it counts.
Absolutely. My final word is, in every minute of every day, I ask myself, is this the best feeling thought or action I could do? Is it bringing me joy and delight, or is it bringing me worry and fear? And then I choose. So that's what I do to use my time and money most wisely. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Tiffany. Thank you as usual for being the co-host with the most on That Is in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Take us out.
Now go and have the best day ever.